All I have to say is sit back and relax, grab your coffee, because this is about to be a really good just personal video here. You're really gonna get to know me. It's gonna be a good talk. Hello guys, it's Allanna here. A lot of you have probably been listening to me say that for the past several years now because I've had my channel for quite some time now, to be quite honest. But a lot of you probably haven't either because there's so many new faces here, which I am extremely grateful for. But that's also why this video is such an overdue video. I've been meaning to make it for the longest time, but you're really gonna get to know me today. I'm going to talk about growing up, my background, what I love, why I'm here, how I got here, why I create content, and just a lot of the really commonly asked questions I get, not only here on social media, my Instagram, but also just in my daily personal life too. So with that said, I'm just gonna stop talking because it's gonna be an interesting and long video in itself, so let's just go ahead and get started. All right, y'all, we're gonna take it back. I mean, like way back. So when I was younger, when I was a little kid, little Allanna, I've just always been a very creative individual. When I was younger, I was super into drawing and painting. I even took oil painting classes. I have so many drawings stored away, even to this day, and occasionally I still enjoy it. I use it to sketch fashion designs now, but I won't get too ahead of myself. So back then I was into that, but then one day I sparked my interest in photography and videography, mainly because little 13-year-old me started watching a whole lot of YouTube videos, and I would watch all these vloggers and I wanted to be like them. So there I was, really wanting to do that. But at the time, all I had was my little Nintendo DSi, and if you had one too, you know that thing took photos, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So there I was, like, taking photos with my Nintendo DSi, and I even remember taking it on trips and all that. But then eventually I convinced my parents to let me start my own YouTube channel at the age of 13. It was July 7th, 2014. That was the birth of my channel. My very first ever channel video was a really cringy tutorial on how to make a friendship bracelet, and I'm telling you right now, don't go try searching for it because you won't find it. My parents didn't let me show my face back then because, you know, they were really great protective parents. And then eventually I started, you know, when I grew up and got a little bit older, I, you know, eventually started showing my face in videos. But at that time, then I eventually, a little bit further down the line, got my own camera, and I got really into photography to the point that I started freelancing, believe it or not. I actually took a lot of family portraits, and I got into videography as well, of course, because I had to edit my own videos. So around the age of 15 or 16, I was probably already working and doing freelance jobs and doing and editing the photos all myself. Probably weren't the best if I were to look back at those photos, but hey, it counts. I was an ambitious 15-year-old. It was time to take the blazer off. We're moving around here. So when I was younger, I did actually go to a private school for almost my entire school years. From pre-K through my freshman year of high school, I went to a private school. So I was a very kind of sheltered type of kid growing up. But then come my sophomore year is when I transferred to public school, and I was ready for it. I was so glad to leave my private school, even though, don't get me wrong, it taught me a lot of good things and foundations. I was so excited to go to public school. I was ready for a change. And so that is where I discovered that my public school had offered commercial photography and audio and video production. And this just blew my mind. I was so excited because I was already really into this. And so I took all the way through the advanced classes on those, and that's where I just had such a blast. And I also grew a lot in my freelance photography and videography kind of career. At that time, I really thought that I wanted to go into film production, so I did lots of jobs in there. So fast forward, like through my senior year, I started working for a different company, and different companies would hire me to take photos for their companies. Then eventually I start my, you know, freshman year of college at UTSA here in Texas, and you know, I was thankful enough to get a job actually at a film production studio, which was pretty awesome. But my role at the film production studio was actually my first ever position that I held as a social media manager. I was hired on based off of my previous experience that I had from Instagram and just my own personal freelancing, because at that time I was also really first starting off on my personal Instagram journey as far as getting into fashion. So this is also around that time when I was really getting into clothes and expressing myself and venturing into all of that and expressing myself through style, because I never had that opportunity before when I was in private school. So what I would do is I would go through their database of all of their previous photos and videos, and I would edit different things and put them together to produce content on their page, both on their Instagram, their Facebook, and I would run their analytics and basically draw in more clients for them. And that's the first job that I held doing that stuff. And since they were a film production studio, they also filmed a lot of commercials for companies. So anytime we would go on a shoot to film commercials or videos for them, I would film behind the scenes footage for those, which was really cool to see how a lot of those things went. So that was where my enjoyment came from as far as being behind camera. I really have enjoyed both being in front of and behind camera. So then the lovely COVID came and the film industry and everything came to a screeching halt and no one was working. So got let go from that job, which is quite okay because other endeavors came. I got offered a position at an accounting firm doing bookkeeping and accounting and all of that, since I was studying business marketing as my major at the time as well. And you know, I was there for a short while, but safe to say that desk jobs are not for me. It's not my interest. That's quite okay. I did learn a very, very valuable information from it though, so I can't disregard that, because that's some information that to this day I can take with me. And when I took all of my accounting classes for my major, it helped me a lot because things just made it so much more smooth when I learned those things in my college courses. This is where though things start to get a little fun. So at this time, I remember seeing an ad on Instagram for a modeling and acting training class, and it was an audition that was taking place here in San Antonio. And so I at first was a little hesitant, but then I jumped on the opportunity and I went to the audition and I got it. So I ended up taking Barbizon's modeling and acting class back in 2019, and it was such a lovely experience. It was a class that I took for 6 months because at this time I really wanted to take my Instagram game to the next level, and I thought that, you know, knowing how to properly pose and showcase and just be a canvas for clothes would really help me in this journey. And to be quite honest, I really just I had an interest in modeling as well. I feel like most girls, young girls do at some point in their lives kind of have that little bit of an aspiration to maybe get into modeling or have an enthusiasm for. At least that was me. I can only really speak for myself, so that's what I did there. And a really great opportunity came up for that. So through Barbizon, they were holding a competition show. It was a runway show and a commercial performance. And so I got selected for that audition as well, and I got it. So I competed in the runway show and had to recite and perform a live 30-second commercial, and I actually got scouted by 11 different agencies. I don't know why I held up 3. That's not 11. So the judges there at the show were all actually agents that were scouting. I got 11 different callbacks from that, and I ended up selecting an agent that I wanted to go with. I signed with her for a year, but unfortunately, since I was just starting off in college, I really didn't get to do much with her in that year. So that was just kind of left as it was, and then I just continued from there doing and working on my Instagram. So as I mentioned, yes, I am studying business marketing for college. I'm currently on my senior year for it. So in the meantime, after, you know, having that first year with my agent, like I said, I just focused on my Instagram, and it was from there where I really experimented with, you know, trying to find my overall aesthetic and just truthfully developing my own personal style. And I actually got my first ever sponsorship, which totally wasn't even fashion related whatsoever, but it's okay. It goes to show you that you shouldn't limit yourself. It was actually a sponsorship from a water bottle company, and not gonna lie, I still use those water bottles to this very day. Almost every single day actually for my coffee if I'm on the go. But yeah, it was really fun and just a really great experience. So around this time, I really just focused on taking all of the different skills that I had learned throughout the years: photos, videos, editing, modeling, and social media, to really combine them all. And of course, the things that I was also learning studying my degree. And that's a really huge thing that I, throughout all this time, kind of had the game plan as far as just being a well-rounded just individual. And also just me personally, I really like being in charge of everything, so I like to be able to do things myself. To be quite honest, I like to be able to manage and do everything myself. And so I just want to fast forward to now. So now I am currently a part-time influencer because I'm still on my senior year of college. I'm finishing up, I'll graduate this year, which is amazing. But right now I am working on as an influencer. That's my main thing that I do. Of course, I've had part-time jobs here and there. I'm also a social media manager for other companies as well. I've continued to do that for other brands and other pages where I create their content, post to their page, and I manage all of their stuff for them when it comes to their social media. But as of right now, I'm really focusing on growing my platforms because I truthfully have a passion for fashion, and I love sharing inspiration and style tips with others because I want others to be able to learn how to express their inner selves like outwardly through their style. I think it is such a cool thing. And within the past couple months, actually October of last year of 2022, I had the opportunity to audition and go to a casting for a modeling team, and which I've now been a part of, and it's just really giving me the amazing opportunity to walk in 3 different runway shows here within the past couple months. So it just randomly sparked an opportunity of modeling for me again that I wasn't truthfully expecting. It's not something that I necessarily sought after. It was just kind of placed into my life, and you know, it's just an opportunity that I'm extremely grateful for. And along with that, I'm also just, you know, trying to venture onto TikTok and post things here on my channel and just have fun with that. But ultimately, I like love fashion so much that sometime in the future, I really want to start my own clothing brands. And I'm also going to be getting into sewing because I absolutely love designing and sketching outfits so much, but I've never learned how to physically make them myself. So I have so much of a high regard for people that can physically make clothes because it's just such a beautiful skill in my opinion. And you know, if there wasn't people out here that knew how to make these things, we wouldn't have these amazing clothes and trends and just things that we can express ourselves with on a daily basis. So thankfully, with the communities here that I've been able to get into, it allows me to connect with the fashion industry more and just being in modeling and social media content creating because it's so much fun. I still love doing all the behind the scenes work of editing and production and finding and scouting locations and all of that. With that said, who knows, maybe one of these days I will start my own clothing brands because I just absolutely love being able to help others find their inner style and outwardly express it through their style and the clothes that they love to wear. And you know, who knows, maybe we'll see where modeling takes me. I don't really intend on making that a full-time career, but we'll see where that goes because I just genuinely enjoy creating content here so much, and I'm just extremely grateful for it. Of course, with that said, if you want to follow me on my other platforms, you know, they're there, Allanna_Cuellar for both TikTok and Instagram. Also, if you want to subscribe here too, but that's about it. I love you guys so much. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.